What's happening, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Cash Talks, the place where you guys get to become the best version of yourself. So in this video, we're going to be going through another relationship topic. Now, in my previous video, I mentioned this concept of attachment styles. Now, if you haven't checked out that video, go check it out right now, because we're going to be going through in this video about that very specific attachment style, which is the dismissive avoidant attachment style, otherwise known as the emotionally unavailable partner. Now, if you are this type of person, this video is going to help you so much in understanding yourself. And if you're dating this type of person, you're going to understand so much about them and why they react in a certain way and their behaviors. And that's going to help you develop your relationship to a more better, secure state. So definitely check out this video because it's going to help you regardless. And knowing your attachment styles, okay, one thing I want to make very, very clear is knowing your attachment style is going to help you in your overall happiness levels, because it's not just about your relationship. Your attachment style affects your income, it affects your satisfaction levels, it affects your happiness levels, it just affects your overall fulfillment in life. So it's really, really important that you guys know this stuff. So the dismissive avoidant attachment style, okay, I'm going to call this the detachment style, because this person hates any form of attachment. Now, a lot of narcissists actually fall into this category. Now, I'm not saying everyone in this category is a narcissist, but if you are a narcissist, you will most likely fall into this category, because these people, they think they're amazing. They just, as I mentioned in the previous video, they think that the whole world is not good enough for them and they are better than the world. And that's just the way they are. They have very high self-esteem and, they have a lot of confidence in themselves. But as we all know on this channel, we think deep. And there is a deeper meaning behind all of this. See, subconsciously, these people, they actually fear a lot of rejection. They fear emotional distress. They fear heartbreak. They fear, not feeling the love that they want. They almost feel like they're not worthy of love. And that results in them kind of emotionally distancing. And that's why they become this emotionally unavailable partner, or this dismissive avoidant partner. It's all one big protection mechanism. It's all one big defense mechanism as a way of kind of pushing away all the emotions so that they protect themselves. And this leads to a lot of problems in relationships. And obviously you may think that, okay, fine, this person doesn't experience heartbreak. This person doesn't experience any emotional distress. Like, if anything, they're winning. No, they're not winning, because actually deep down, they're really, really unhappy. And I'm gonna get into that later on in this video. So in order to create this emotional distance, they'll do anything. Like, you'll find really extreme dismissive avoidant types. They'll sometimes cheat. They'll sometimes flirt with other people. They'll do anything to basically create more of an emotional distance, to make them feel like, I'm with this person, but I'm not too attached. And even on a day-to-day basis, they won't necessarily text often. They won't call often. They'll be as dismissive as possible throughout the day, because they don't want to feel emotionally dependent or emotionally attached. They did a study and they analyzed basically different types of people at the airport and when they were saying goodbye. And what they found in this study is when partners were saying goodbye to their other half, the avoidant type showed very little contact, very little sadness, very little emotional distress or anxiety about their partner leaving. And that is basically an example of how they react in their day-to-day life. They just kind of shut off as a way of protecting themselves. Another way that they create emotional distance is they'll look at imperfections in their partner. Now, if you are with this type of person, I want you to know right now, those imperfections that they think of are 100% not true. What you'll find is that the dismissive avoidant type, sometimes they'll even idolize their ex-partner as a way of creating more emotional distance. It makes them feel like, I'm not too attached to this person because I'm thinking about another person almost. But I'm telling you now that that relationship was doomed and it wasn't perfect. And if it was perfect, 9 times out of 10, they would be with them still. So you need to remember that whatever imperfections they are seeing in you, it's just a defense mechanism. That's all it is. And if you are this person, I need you to remember that as well, that you are looking at imperfections, but it is all because of your subconscious need and desire to want that love, but fear it at the same time. I mentioned in the last video that these types of people, they're gonna seek anything other than their relationship to fulfill themselves. So they'll get involved with their friends more, they'll go out partying more, and they'll especially get involved in their work more as a way of just putting off their relationship and prioritizing it at the least. And naturally, this means that this type of person, according to studies, has a very high income. And you may think that's a great thing. but they are also not fulfilled in life. I mentioned this in my happiness video, like money doesn't buy happiness, it's an external source of happiness. And this is what happens. The dismissive avoidant type is naturally unaware of this stuff and will kind of go into their life chasing the money, chasing whatever other type of fulfillment that they think is going to give them that fulfillment. But then they get to a stage in their life where they're just not fulfilled because their relationship is just a mess and they don't feel like they're getting the love and affection that they need or they want to give out in that relationship. So just be aware that yes, they may get involved in their work and they may be doing everything else but their relationship, but they're deep down not happy. And that's very, very clear. And I say this from experience as well. You know, we need to accept that, especially if you are this type of person, that we are natural loving beings. Scriptures from thousands of years ago have already mentioned this from day one. And the more we get in tune with that and understand that more and try and develop that more, the happier and more fulfilled we're going to be in life. So ultimately, as a dismissive avoidant type, I'm telling you, we just all want to love and be loved. So be more of that. Now, okay, I mentioned this whole idea of them creating emotional distance, but now in terms of their behaviors, this type of person initially in a relationship is going to be super charming, super nice, super loving, kind of pull you in. But as things get comfortable, they're going to pull away. Because when they're pulling you in, it's still surface level to them. It's not a deep attachment forming. It's not a deep emotional attachment. The more emotions start to come in and attachment starts to develop deeper, they will start to pull away more because of that natural defense mechanism. And I want to make this very clear. They have no clue about any of this. They probably have no clue about the fact that they're trying to protect themselves, no clue about the fact that they're creating this defense mechanism around them, but they're going to do it. So you just being aware of that maybe might help you in understanding your partner a bit more and maybe working through problems better. Ultimately, they'll just never really fully connect emotionally with their partner. You'll find days where they're really super loving and super affectionate and days where they're just completely dismissive. And it will always kind of be like, oh wait, I'm getting too attached. Oh wait, let me pull away a bit. And it will just be like this kind of cycle. But again, they don't realize they're doing this. And naturally the partner's gonna feel like their emotions are being ignored. But this is because the dismissive avoidant type really believes in independence, okay? Like they just believe that I gotta work on my problems, you work on your problems, and that's just how it's gonna work. Like you should be able to figure out your own stuff. And yes, that is true to a certain extent in the sense that you should not rely on your partner for your own happiness, but you should be able to rely on your partner to help you through emotional crisis because that is part of being in a relationship throughout your life. Like you're accepting a partner to work through life with, and that is the point. So there is an element of dependency that should be accepted, but as a dismissive avoidant type, they are just like, no way, no dependency. I want to be independent, you be independent, and that's just how it should be. And the reason is because of their childhood, and I'm going to get into that at the end of this video. I'd say the best way of describing them is with the phrase, I prefer not to depend on others and have them depend on me. That is the kind of ideal way of describing this person. They like feeling like others depend on them because it fuels their self-esteem, it makes them feel better about themselves, it makes them feel more amazing. But they don't like depending on others because then that obviously reduces all of that. But one good thing about this is they'll only do this to the people close to them. Okay, so if this is happening to you because of your partner, then know this, that it's because they find you as a close individual to them. They won't do this to anyone. They'll in fact be very normal with the rest of the world. But when it comes to the people close to them, they're just naturally more avoidant because they fear. So if you are this person and in a relationship, it's likely that you have sought out the anxious type. Now I mentioned this in my previous video about what the anxious type is. So go check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you are an avoidant type, it's likely that you'll fit most with the anxious type. Now I say fit, I don't think it's a good fit, and here's why. See, the anxious type is gonna give you the love that you deep down require and desire, but you're not gonna give it out. And that's the problem. See, the anxious type is going to get so frustrated and constantly trying to give you that love because they don't feel secure in themselves and they want that love from you, so they're going to keep giving it and you're not going to give it back. And naturally, whilst you don't give it back, it's going to create more of a frustration, and then that's going to create more of this emotional distress, and you won't want any of those emotional conversations, and then that's just going to lead to more and more problems. But the truth is, their neediness makes you feel stronger. It makes you feel more self-sufficient. It makes you feel amazing because this person's depending on you. But that's not healthy. That's really not healthy, and it doesn't actually fulfill you, and it doesn't make you happy, and that's the truth of it. You will only start to feel happy when you start to give out that love more. When you start to become more in tune with your emotions, when you start to understand where all of this is coming from and how you can progress and overcome it, only then will you start to become happier with whatever situation that you've got. I know it sounds great on paper. Someone's loving you loads, and to the point that you're not even loving them back. It's like almost you're just getting and getting and getting. But like I said, scriptures have understood this concept that we are selfless, loving beings. Until you understand that, it's never really going to work. I'll probably make this a video specifically on this relationship because there's just so much to say between these two types. Like, it's one of the most common relationships about. So I'll make a video on this relationship. So definitely subscribe if you want to check that out. Now, okay, so let's move on to the jealousy topic. What are they like when they're jealous? So when they're jealous, they actually get really, really sad intensely. Really, really intensely. It affects them a lot. Because like I said, all their life, they're trying to protect their emotions. So they're not going to show it. But deep down, they still desire that love a lot. And it hits them hard when they get jealous. And especially if their partner does something wrong outside of the relationship, it affects them even more. And in being affected, they actually pull away more. They start to focus on their own work more. They start to focus on building their self-esteem again. It's almost like it creates more of an emotional distance, because what they're trying to do is they're just trying to think, okay, I'm getting hurt. Let me move away. Let me just focus on myself again and make sure that I don't get hurt again like this. And it's just like, if you're with this type of person, just be aware, try not to make them as jealous, because you may think sometimes if I make him jealous or her jealous, maybe they'll come running back. Actually, it might create more of an emotional distance. It may be that they may come back, but it's just really unlikely. And now during a breakup, okay, so I once had a DM from someone where they said, oh, I was with this type of person, and it basically described the dismissive avoidant type, and then they broke up, and this person said to me, oh, now he's just kind of avoiding me and acting like the relationship was nothing and whatever. That is what dismissive avoidant types do. So I want you to remember that if you've just broken up with this type of person, or you are a dismissive avoidant type and you've just broken up, what you'll do is you'll basically devalue the relationship as if it was nothing. You'll be like, it wasn't that great. You'll seek every imperfection about it, and you'll kind of see that as a way of getting over the breakup. And at the same time, you'll just withdraw emotionally. And it may come across to your ex-partner that, oh, that person never cared about me, they still don't care about me, whatever. They did care, and you do care. I say this, you do care, but what it is, it's you're trying to protect yourself emotionally. So it may help you break up, but you're suppressing. You're not necessarily dealing with the emotion. That's what I want to get out there. You're suppressing, and that's gonna come out in some sort of way. It may be that you're rebounding with another person, or it may be that you'll just get so involved with your work and you'll just avoid this relationship topic forever, and then 10 years later it may come back up again. So just be aware of that. You are suppressing, and it's not the healthiest way of dealing with it. I'd say the healthiest way of dealing with it would be through becoming more in tune with your emotions, understanding where the relationship went wrong, what you could have done better, and just accepting it, you know? And I'm definitely gonna make a video about actually going through a breakup, so there's a lot more to say about this, but just be aware of that. Now, the question is, what led them to be like this? Like, that's the biggest question. Why are you like this? And I say this from experience because I literally woke up one day and I was like, why am I like this as a person? And generally what has happened is traumas have come about in your lifetime that have led you to be like this. There is this concept that childhood led to you being this way. This idea that you had an emotionally dismissive parent who didn't like the fact that you would show your emotions. And as a child, every time you'd cry or you showed you were hungry or something was upsetting you, you'd go to that parent and they would kind of dismiss your emotions, and you felt natural, and you basically developed this understanding that, okay, I'm not going to get what I need from that person, let me just deal with it myself. And that led you to be that way. And that is a true concept that does happen. But what could also happen is you could have also been in a relationship where things just got messy, and you entered a new relationship and thought, I don't want to get hurt again, I don't want to go through heartbreak again, let me just close off. So my point being is, it's due to childhood, but it could also be due to trauma that could have happened in your lifetime. And so what I say is the best way of dealing with this person is you basically need to uncover all the trauma that they've gone through. So in a nutshell, every time they've emotionally opened up, someone has dismissed them. Or every time they've emotionally opened up, something has gone wrong and they've been hurt. So you need to, if you're with this person, is ultimately bring their emotions out, but positively react to them. And if you are this person, open up and accept that sometimes people may not react emotionally in the right way, but you only need to go to those who matter to you and will react emotionally in the right way. And you just keep doing that. Reinforce that positive behavior that people will be there to support you, and that will naturally start to change your subconscious mind in developing more of a secure type. I'm going to make a video on actually changing your type. This was just an in-depth analysis of what you're like as a person and why you are like that, so you can better understand how to change it when I make the next video. So definitely subscribe, because I'm gonna make that video. It won't be next video. The next video is gonna be on the anxious type, an in-depth analysis of the anxious type. So definitely wait for that. And then after that will probably be the how to change your type. So hit the subscribe button and follow my Instagram, because yeah, I release a lot of this stuff on my Instagram. I release quotes about it. I release other kind of graphics about it. So yeah, definitely check that out. And I believe I'm done. Cash Talks is out.